Ignacio, Katipunero, Sugod, todos sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan.
Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawan ni Ignacio, Katipunero, Sugod, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting at tigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan.
In light of the recent lockdowns due to the COVID-19 pandemic, all upcoming episodes of Seniors on Air Radio are pre-recorded. This ensures that the production of our episodes can continue, while at the same time ensuring the safety of our hosts and interviewees, as well as giving our technical team enough space to maneuver within the technological limits that we have to face. We certainly can't wait to see you again live from our radio station. Until then, come fly with us at the safety of our own homes and enjoy the episode.
Are you feeling sore? We can make that better. Tune in to the Ateneo Senior High School's first radio program, SOAR, Seniors on Air Radio. Don't change that channel yet, because SOAR is ready to put the you in you. SOAR, Seniors on Air, here on Radyo Katipunan, 87.9 FM.
On a dim Wednesday afternoon, 6 Apconians, clothed in black, gathered together for a spooky reading. How's it, soaring eagles? Welcome to Seniors on Air Radio. I am your host, DJ Yana, and for today's episode, we will be talking about things spooky, since the Halloween is just around the corner. And please do stay tuned, because we will be airing stories from our beloved ASHS community. But before we move forward, we would like to introduce our special guests. Today we have here our juniors. Please introduce yourselves.
I'll start. Okay. Hi guys, I am DJ Joy, but you can call me Eman Pabulayan. I'm from ABM 11 Borja. And I'm one of the production assistants here in APCO. Yes.
Yes, welcome to DJ Joy. Yes naman, sino pa ba mga kasama natin today? Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Aislinn Penafrancia from 11 Humes, and I'm DJ Naves. I'm the APCO production assistant for this year.
At ayan, nandito na ang anak ni Naves, galing Kuanya at kapatid ng Espa. Ako si DJ Aiden. Ako si Aiden Hernandez, galing ng STEM 11 Right at nandito ako ngayon dahil ako ay production assistant ng APCO. Nice to meet you.
Yes, nice to meet you, ating mga new addition to the APCO core. But of course, hindi natin makakalimutan ang mga returning faces to our loyal viewers we have here. DJ Orange. Mag-hi ka naman, DJ Orange.
Hello. Yay, welcome back to SOAR.
And I'm DJ Jax. You guys met me already. So, yeah.
Now that we are done with the introductions, I will now ask you guys, do you have some favorite Halloween memories? And if you do, please share. Ako, I have a favorite Halloween memory. Ito yung nag-trick or treat ako sa Eastwood. And it was a contest actually. I dressed up as Wonder Woman. Oh, diba? Bongga. And then, I remember like going around the mall asking candies about stores, and they would also like, if, ewan ko, like, magpipicture kayo, ganyan, and then bibigyan ka nila ng candy. And I was very happy kasi syempre, candy bata. And actually, hindi ako nanalo nun, but yes, I remember losing yung yung number. Kasi kailangan, like, they will give you a number. Tapos magmo-model ka sa stage. Tapos, they will, like, rate your costume and everything. Pero I lost my number. So, hindi na ako model sa stage. And then, yeah, yun lang. How about you guys? Eman, ikaw, do you have your favorite Halloween memory?
I think ako medyo same rin sa'yo. Like, nag-trick-or-treat din ako nung bata. And I remember like being dressed as a vampire. Tapos talagyan pa ako ng mom ko na lipstick dito para kunyari blood. And then like, I remember then one memory like, di ba, tatanong mo trick-or-treat sa mga bahay-bahay, di magbibigay silang candy. Like, ano daw mangyayari kapag pinili daw nila is trick. So, ayun, hindi ko pa rin siya sure kung ano sagot doon, kung trick ba or treat. So, ayun din.
Totoo. Actually, ako rin. Ano ba mangyayari sa trick?
Diba? Confusing siya.
Kasi hindi tayo binigyan ng treat. Diba? How about Jaja? Do you have your favorite Halloween memory?
Ako naman, my favorite Halloween memory is this haunted house we went to before. Well, it's not a literal haunted house. It's like the theme of the, it's like one of those amusement parks. And there was a haunted house. And I went with 2 friends. And inside this haunted house, there are actual people, dressed as zombies. When I was walking, I was scared. So I was hugging someone. But I realized I wasn't hugging like my friend. I was hugging the zombie na pala.
Yeah,
Oh
my
very
God!
Nako.
Love and
You can sign up for that.
Parang hindi na ata kasama sa trabaho nila yun, Ja. Pero, bongga. Ako rin, actually, parang I have good memories of going to haunted houses. Kasi, sa province namin, they have this thing called tumba-tumba. And, we'd visit that every year. Super daming, like, horror maze, if that's what it's called. And we'd go around the town para lang ma-visit lahat ng available na horror maze. And wala, actually, pag pumapasok ako sa mga ganon, wala, nakapikit na ako, so hindi ko rin talaga nakikita because I get scared easily, okay? So, ganon ako tuwing Halloween. How about you, Is? Can you share your favorite Halloween memory?
Siguro same din sa'yo. Pero this time, nakasali ako dun sa may part na may bibigyan ng award.
Wala, kabog ka pala yan.
Sorry, ako lang po, guys.
Tapos it was Halloween celebration sa office ng aunt ko. And then, can you guess kung ano yung costume ko? I don't know.
May clue muna. Clue. Kasi syempre,
Kinakain siya.
Donut?
Kinakain.
Donut ka ba? Ano ka?
Pizza!
Hotdog!
Hindi.
Um,
Actually,
ano?
kaya ako nag-best in costume was I was wearing kisses. Like, may
Oh,
parang
yung-
pa ganon.
Yung pa-triangle ba? Yung yung maliliit na. Oh.
Tapos may hula hoop sa loob.
Yung
kaya
ano,
nagmukhang
pagbilag na
kisses.
lumalaki.
Taray, but you're may hula hoop sa loob.
Mm-mm. Kaya
Creative.
nagmukha siyang triangle.
Congrats on winning best costume. Sana all, di ba?
May number kasi ako noon.
Sorry
That's
ha.
why.
Sorry talaga. And Iana, how about you?
Yung favorite Halloween memory ko is nung sinabi ng Filipino teacher ko na sulat ng devil yung Harry Potter. Joke, pero yun, I'm a sweet tooth talaga. So yung favorite talaga na naisip ko, yung mga bahay na generous. Yung bahay na may sorbetes, yung bahay na may shaved ice. Ganon, yung ganon tipong pag-trick or treat. Yun, burned in my memory.
Oh my God, saan ko ba nakatira? At shave ice at sorbetes ang binibigay nila sa inyo.
Kaya nga,
Sa
candy-candy
amin,
lang dapat yan.
Candy lang, di ba, Emma?
Mga frutos, pamentos,
Shave
ganon.
ice,
Nako,
shave ice. Ano yan, Mare? Never ko na-experience
ganun
yan.
ba pag low
Pero-
budget, pa-candy lang?
True! Ay, nako. Siguro kung ganun din binibigay nila sa amin, baka yun din ang favorite Halloween
Yeah,
memory
tama
ko. How about si DJ Aiden?
Yung sa akin, dalawa. So, yung una, may zombie na The Walking Dead na maze sa Eastwood. Tapos, dalawang beses kami pumunta ng family ko doon. Sobrang nakakatakot kasi bigla kang dadakmain ng zombie. Ganyan.
Gusto ko yung...
Paano ulit yung dakma?
Paano na yun, Aiden?
Ano ulit? Paano?
Okay.
Tapos, yung pangalawa, more heartfelt kasi may tindahan kami, tapos kami yung nagbibigay ng candy. And
Oh.
parang nakakatuwa na pag nakakita ka ng bata na, oh, eto candy kasi Halloween and all ganyan.
Sana all.
Generous siya, okay. Wala bang pa-sorbetes din sa inyo? Baka may sorbetes naman. Next time, alam mo na. Pero since COVID, wala atang tayong
Oo.
Halloween ngayon.
Yun
Like,
lang.
the usual,
Sad.
like, trick or treat, katok-katok, candies.
Cash na lang po.
Ano na lang
pwede.
daw, manggo-ghost na
Pwede.
lang daw ngayong Halloween.
Ano, trick or treat, mga tig isang
Cash na lang
peso.
po.
But now that we have shared our own stories of Halloween, now we will be reading the anonymous stories from our beloved ASHS community. And guys, are you good with scary things? Deliver ba kayo or hindi?
Well, ako, depende rin actually. Like, nakwento sa akin ng nanay ko noon, like, yung mga multo daw, like, hindi naman daw sila yung mga patay na, alam mo yung kaparamdam, parang more on devils daw talaga sila. So, pero may mga stories kasi talaga, like, from, other people. So, parang, baka totoo siya, ganun. Baka may mga third eye kami talaga.
Oh.
Kayo ba?
Okay, now na narinig natin ang thoughts ninyo, let's get into reading. So, first story. My house isn't that old. It was built when I was 3 years old, and my family is the home's first residents. But there's definitely some other beings in the house. I didn't really pay attention to it when I was a kid, but back then, my yaya would usually leave me alone upstairs while she cooked food and did other household chores downstairs. I'd play on my own in the living room while a movie was playing in the background. Super spooky naman nun. But then sometimes, as I'm playing or just sitting on the couch, I'd hear the doorknob in the extra bathroom turning. But the door never actually opened. Oh my God, I'm getting goosebumps. Wait lang. Or sometimes, I'd hear footsteps in the attic above me even when no one was up there. Grabe, girls.
Ang scary naman pala
Wait.
ng mga bahay dito. Naku po.
Real to like, as I was reading, medyo tumataas yung balahibo ko dito.
Pati na nasa likod mo.
Ay, naku po.
Walang
Mali,
takot
mali.
dito, girl. Walang ganon. Madali lang matakot. But now that you've heard that story, I want to ask you guys, have you ever had spooky encounters at home? Kasi ako, I never had one. Kayo ba?
No.
Wala ba?
No.
Akin medyo fabricated kasi alam mo yung tipo, wow, kain ako, okay, I'm hungry, it's night, mga 11 p.m. na. Yung bababa ako, tapos medyo malayo yung room namin sa kitchen. So, okay, lakad-lakad in the dark. Tapos, nung umupo na ako sa namin, sa dining table, tsaka kumakain ng ice cream kahit 11 p.m. na, biglang may narinig akong katok sa side. Tapos, biglang sinabi ko, baka may robber, oh my goodness, anong gagawin ko dyan? Tapos, yung pagtingin ko, wala. Tapos, it happened again. Like, okay, kumakain ako. Tapos, katok ulit. Tapos, lumabas yung mukha ng tatay ko. Tatay, fabricated.
So, hindi pala talaga siya spooky. No? Tinatakot ka lang ng dad mo.
Oo.
Tinatakot ka lang ng dad mo. Kasi sabi parang, anong oras na? Bakit nasa
Yeah.
So, wala na bang ibang stories kayong alam or like stories na narinig from your parents?
I had one like dito sa bahay rin. Kasi like sa second floor namin, di ba, like first floor, second floor. Tapos like sa second floor namin, parang meron kaming tinatawag na sala. Basta parang open, lang siya space. Tapos mapaligiran ng rooms, ganyan. Tapos like may friend yung mom ko. Kasi yung mom ko medyo religious, ganyan. So may friend siya from the church. Tapos like pumunta sa house. Tapos parang sabi nung bisita namin, like meron daw mga batang nagalaro doon. As in sa sala, like nagtatakbuhan daw sila, ikot-ikot, ganyan. So pag nasa baba daw kami minsan, wag daw kami magugulat if may maririnig kaming footsteps sa taas. So, ayun lang naman. Never ko na siya nakalimutan. Pero like, kaya pa namang umakyat. Pero yeah, ang scary niya pa rin until now. Ayun.
Alam mo yung tipong, wag mo na lang awayin.
Diba? Parang, sige, makitira na lang kayo, okay lang talaga.
Oh
Like,
my God!
Kaya na lang kayo.
May kasama ka?
Ay, well, wala kaming choice. Ayun lang. So, ayun guys, let's move on to our next submission. So, ayun na, in Tagalog siya guys. So, ayun, let's start. So, personal experience siya ng kaibigan ko. So, nasa Filipino class siya nung F2F pa. Tapos nakakaantok kasi yung Filipino classes namin nun, kaya nagpaalam siyang mag-CR. So, tamang-tama naman, kailangan niyang magpalit ng napkin noon. So, girl things, ganyan, ganon. So, nagpapalit siya ng napkin. Then, ayaw niya na may kasama siya sa CR kasi maingay daw magpalit. Kaya, minake sure niya na muna na mag-isa siya sa CR. So, tinignan niya yung cubicle. So, nakita niya mag-isa talaga siya. So, pumasok siya sa pinakaunang cubicle. And she did her business na midway, biglang may narinig siyang nag-flush ng toilet. So, nabigla siya kasi akala niya siya lang yung mag-isa sa CR. Kaya naghintay siya sa loob ng cubicle para hintayin yung person lumabas. Pero, wala siyang narinig na footsteps para lumabas. And, wala rin siyang narinig na pumasok, kaya ang weird. So, di na lang niya pinansin to and nag-continue siyang magpalit. So, lumabas siya ng cubicle, tapos narinig niya uli mag-flush yung toilet. So, yung kaibigan ko, sa kung saan nanggaling yung flush sounds, which is nasa pinakahuling cubicle. Tapos doon nakita niya may isang pair of school shoes na nasa loob ng cubicle. So di niya alam kung anong gagawin niya, kaya bumalik na lang siya sa klase. Di niya rin daw alam, di ko alam kung spooky enough to, pero yun nga. So may iba pa daw siyang CR stories, pero di daw siya sure kung accurate, kaya ito na lang daw, wag na lang daw niya isasabihin. So, ayun, ang scary pala niya.
Buti na lang may friend.
Ayun nga, buti may kasama siya. Bakit pa CR? So, diba? So, ako po. Kayo guys, ano ba, in school, di ba, may rumors na circulate. So, what are some of the most memorable hunting practices you've encountered sa inyo? Kayo ba?
Ako, actually, it's not my experience, pero story siya from my classmates. Kasi, nung elementary, I have a friend na, like, ewan ko, hindi ko alam ng trip nila, pero they do like yung Bloody Mary. Tapos, ewan, kinagkwento lang nila sa akin.
Risky niya ng Bloody Mary, pero go, sige.
Ewan ko what happened, pero yun lang yung naalala ko. They do Bloody Mary daw. Hindi ko alam kung sinong kasama niya, but hindi ako yun. Basta never ako nag-participate sa mga ganung bagay, okay? Never talaga.
Ako meron.
Go.
Sige, go, ano yan?
So like,
sa school kasi, minsan, na part ako of this org, tapos nagka-camping kami sa school. And then, since nagka-camping kami, there are times na, palakasan ng loob. So, tara, akitin natin yung mga floors ng school. Tapos, ang dala namin, syempre, may flashlight. Ganun. Pero, kapag malapit na kami dun sa mga parang areas na, parang dun yung mga zones na nandun daw yung mga spirits, nagpapatay kami ng flashlight. Tapos, kapag nandun na kami, biglang, may cold air daw na nararamdaman bigla. Tapos, huwag kayo maingay, gano'n. Tapos, mafe-feel mo onte na may something talaga. Tapos, bigla-bigla na kaming tatakbo, gano'n. Tapos, mga 3 a.m. namin gagawin siya. Wala, yun lang.
Naiwang bukas yung aircon. Naalala ko lang, maybe may lumabas sa window. Kasi diba last cubicle, my window, may nag-escape sa school. Nag-joke. Okay, no, joke. Pero, do you guys, familiar nga kayo sa Bloody Mary, right? Because that's what Juliana mentioned earlier. In my old place, nagsa-Chinese tutor ako kasi may Chinese class. Tapos kahit Chinese ako, hindi ako ng Chinese. Pero, so I was going to this Chinese tutor for a very long time. Tapos, sobrang decrepit ng building na yon. As in, mukhang walang tao na sa loob. Like, as in, from all the way from the first floor to the fourth floor, the only lights open would be the one in the staircase. Tapos, the restroom is super, like, messed up. Like, yung walang seat cover yung mga toilet, gano'n. Tapos, ganun na state yung building. Kaya, naging uso dun sa amin dati yung mga Bloody Mary daw. Turn Christ daw sa CR, tapos makita niyong Bloody Mary. Pero yun, masaya.
Si Lotus Pit.
Memories.
Feeling ko lagi naman nakakatakot yung school, either pag sobrang umaga or sobrang gabi. Kasi dati nung grade 9, 5 ako dumadating para sa COCC, tapos nakikita mo yung buong school, sobrang dilim, ground floor lang meron yung lights, tapos parang tatangkain mo ba? Gusto mo ba? Gusto nyo ba i-try yun? So parang no.
Nakaka-relate ako kay Aiden. Yung parang mauuna ka sa school kasi our classes starts at 6 a.m. nung junior high school.
Ganang class nyo pala, 6.
Yes.
Mga early birds.
Tapos first subject namin, research. Gusto ko yun. But yes. So parang yun yung horror joke. Pero katulad ng sabi ni Aiden, once na nauna ka sa school, hindi mo alam kung saan ka pupunta. Kasi like, all the lights are closed. Tapos, yung mga guards nasa harap lang ng gate. And wala talaga. Even if, yung feeling na mas nauna ka pa sa mga teachers. Ganun. Wala talaga. As in, ang quiet. Yung alam ko, biglang mag-hi sa'yo.
Yung mga school nyo, mga sementeryo din ba dati, mga school nyo? May ganun ba kayong chismis? Oh my God!
Naging hospital, naging guard.
Yun yung like, usual stories from other people.
Yeah.
Yung mga schools daw, it's either dating hospital or dating sementeryo.
So
ayun guys.
Ayun. So, sa next submission natin, meron namang nagsabi dito na, when my lola was bedridden, she would knock on the side of her bed. When she passed away and while we were at the funeral place, I remember being alone at around midnight and I heard the same knocking she would do. Limaw. Limaw nga.
Puro katok na naman. May limaw pa nga.
Yung feeling na natatakot siya deep inside, pero yun na lang ng lumaw. para lang masabi na, okay, hindi ako takot.
Okay lang talaga, guys.
Pero meron na rin ba kayong stories tungkol sa relatives nyo or anything na spooky?
I have. Oh my God, handa na ba kayo?
Oh my God, wait lang, mag-prepare lang kami.
First-hand experience ko to. Oh my God, guys. Okay. Kasi, we always have this thing with my cousins na we have a place, tas may kubo doon. That's where we always stay doing afternoon, like 4 p.m. until like 7 or 8 p.m. Nandoon kami. Just like talking, eating, like bonding, family bonding.
Kaya naman nun, sana.
Yes, diba? And then, this actually happened nitong like this summer lang. So, this is sa province namin, okay? So, since we live like sa iba't ibang houses, we were walking home. Parang mga 7 or 8 p.m. that time. And then, I was holding my nephew. Hawak ko siya. 4 years old siya. And then, malayo na kami dun sa place ng kubo namin. So parang 2 blocks away from the kubo. And then I was holding my nephew, tapos all of a sudden bumitaw siya. Then he looked back. He was just waving. Nagwe-wave siya.
God.
I was curious. So bumalik din ako ng tingin. And then I saw nothing. I saw no one. And then kinalabit ng nephew ko yung mom niya. And then, you know what he said?
What?
Sabi niya, Mommy Mumu. Mommy Babay Mumu.
Oh my God!
That's what he said! So, umuwi ako ng takot. Kasi ako yung katabi ng nephew ko. Ako yung katabi niya. And then, ako din nakakita kung ano yung tinignan niya. So, it was so spooky and scary that I had a hard time sleeping. Like, inaisip ko yon. And then, it's the same kid, okay? The same kid, like, the same nephew. Na, another story to. Another
Oh my
story.
God.
Yes.
Sige, go. Ano yan?
Story of the same nephew. Okay, so, nasa house kami ng cousin ko. And it's a big house, yes, ganyan. Parang, lumang house na siya of their lolo, ganyan. And then it was a party kasi birthday ng ate ko. And of course, madaming kids sa family namin, so they would run around, play ganyan. And then merong may malaking parang stairs. Tapos that nephew of mine, nag-stop siya dun sa stairs. And then sabi niya, "Hi, Lolo. But our Lolo is dead." So, lahat kami, like, narinig niya ng mga cousin ko, and then even nung mom niya. So, lahat sila lumabas. Nandun na sila sa tinawag nila lahat ng tao dun sa loob ng house, ng sala. Nung lumabas sila, nasa garage na sila. Nandun na kami lahat, pinag-uusapan namin yun. And, always the same kid. Parang ang daming stories from him na narinig ko from yung mom ng nephew ko. Actually, gusto niyo pa ba makarinig ng isa pa?
Sige, go!
Wala, sis.
They were walking home then.
Sige.
They were walking home then. Like, yung ate ko and then my nephew. Tapos, silang dalawa lang ata that time or with my other cousin pa. Tapos, ganun din. Nagbababay ulit siya sa street. And then, my ate just told my nephew na, okay, since parang ikaw yung nakakita, you have to say na, okay, wag kang sumama sa amin, diyan ka lang. Parang you have to say words daw para hindi siya susunod sa'yo or what. Since hindi naman natin talaga alam if meron nga or wala. So, at least, like, parang wala naman daw mawawala if you say those words na, okay, wag kang sumama, shoo, ganyan ka lang, dyan ka lang, ganon. And, yeah, diba? Kayo ba? Do you have any stories about your relatives or mga narinig yung stories from your distant relatives, ganon?
Hindi ko alam kung super spooky to, pero feeling ko psychic. Oh, psychic? Ganon. Kasi parang, it was me. And on the way kami ng mom ko to visit my lola. And then parang out of nowhere, I asked yung isa kong lolo na nasa hospital. Sabi ko, kamusta na siya? Like, okay lang ba siya? Kamusta na yung family niya? Ganon. Tapos ayun, nagkwento. Tapos, alam niyo ba, the next day, he died. Like, grabe talaga na, shock ako. Kasi, di ba kakatanong ko pa lang about him? Yeah, dun like, sabi ko, psychic siguro ako.
Oh my God!
Alam mo, Ace, na-manifest mo talaga yun, OMG ka.
Grabe naman!
Wala, yun lang.
Hindi siguro kasing spooky, pero with regards to practices with the with the undead, do you guys also practice parang pagpag? Like example, you go
Yes.
from the wake, diba?
Yes.
Tapos titignan niya, okay, punta tayo convenience store.
Yeah, 7-Eleven usually, or McDo. Pwede rin McDo, ganun.
So, lahat din. So, parang there's a joke na parang lahat daw ng multo nasa 7-Eleven kasi lahat daw after
Ay, gathering na sila doon. Let's go.
So anyway, yun lang.
How about, Jaja or DJ Aiden? Do you have any stories?
Sa akin, hindi spooky pero funny. Kasi yung old house sa Batangas ng father's side ko, malayo siya sa parang pinaka-center. So, parang ilang minute walk. Eh di yun, galing kami doon, tapos pupunta kami sa dun sa maraming tao kasi parang may event ata. Eh di yan, lakad-lakad, okay. Tapos nung gabi na, babalik na. Kabilugan ng buwan, o diba? Kabilugan ng buwan. Tapos sa daan, biglang malaking wood na parang ayaw kami padaanin. So sabi namin, baka nahulog lang, ganun. Pero hindi lang isa. Pagkalagpas namin, meron pang dalawa. So parang, saan to galing? May tikbalang ba dito? Pero
talaga kayong padaanin nun.
Tapos, edi nagtatakbo na kami. Ang kasama ko, mga tita ko na matatanda. So, nagtakbo. Tapos pagdating namin sa bahay, yung tito ko naman, tawa ng tawa. So, niloko lang pala niya kami. Nilagay niya lang yung wood.
Joke lang pala.
It's a prank! Happy Halloween!
Pero felt so far.
Baka yun yung trick.
Yun yung trick. Yun na yung sagot.
Ayun pala yun, ako.
Pinibigyan ng trick.
So, let's proceed to another anonymous story. So, when I was in grade school, there was a day where my dad wasn't available to pick me up from my school. So, my yaya was the one who was supposed to pick me up. After school, I was looking for her in the crowd of people. I heard her call my name multiple times and I saw her waving at me with an umbrella in her hand. She was wearing her favorite green tank top, and the umbrella she was holding was a yellow umbrella my dad gave her. When I walked towards the gate, the guard stopped me and asked me if the person picking me up was there already. I looked over to where my yaya was, and she was gone. As if she had never been there. I searched for her in the crowd just in case she had moved, but she wasn't there. The guard ushered me back inside. At this point, I was just confused. I called her landline and guess who answered? My yaya. I asked her if she had left to pick me up already and she said no. She even said that she had just finished cooking and asked if she should leave to pick me up already. It was at that point that I realized that whatever it was that posed as my yaya was probably trying to lure me into something. Ever since, this story has always been my go-to scary experience to tell people. That's so scary.
Scary na. Mga doppelganger ba to?
Oh my God, speaking of doppelganger, yung yung junior high school best friend ko, like, experience na to, I'll just share. Kasi, like, sa dati daw nilang school, oh my God, this is also, like, kinda related dun sa CR thing, but, yes. Nag-CR siya, and then, nagulat siya kasi nakita niya yung sarili niya, like she was moving parang padiretso, and then yung kamukha niya daw nag-move pa ganon. So parang like intersecting or something ganon. And then, yes, like that. Yeah, nagkasalisi. That's the word. And then sabi niya, she was scared daw na sundan kasi baka may mangyaring masama sa kanya.
Di ba dangerous yun? Pag nakasalubong mo yung doppelganger mo, like,
I don't know.
something-
Oh my God, please.
Wow.
Nag-ano?
Yung parang story, I lost her in a crowd of people pero hindi romantic. Horror version.
Horror siya. Horror version.
Honor.
Tapos, hindi niya daw sinundan kasi, like, yung instinct niya was telling her na baka may mangyaring masama sa kanya.
Good
So,
choice.
hindi
Tama
niya na
siya
lang
dun.
inisip na nakita niya. But then she was very sure daw na parang doppelganger niya yon. So, nag-iba siya ng way. And then, hindi na siya, like, dumiretso sa CR. Kasi, syempre, sino bang hindi matatakot kapag nangyari sa'yo yun? Diba? So, bumalik na lang daw siya sa classroom. Yes.
Yan. So, galing naman sa ating next sender, meron din silang nakita na tao na nakakatakot. So, eto, babasahin ko. My two best friends and I decided to sleep together during a stargazing activity in our old school. O, diba? Sana all may stargazing
Sana all talaga may pag-ganon. Ako.
May
Best friends in a
camping pa siya.
Ayan, we set up our tent near the school's chapel and waited along with the rest of our batchmates for night to fall in order to see the stars. I was so excited, but my friends seemed to be panicking as they were trying to ask me to move our tent away from the chapel. When I asked them why, they both told me that they both saw an older woman lurking across the empty halls, eyeing them. I know they both have had similar experiences with seeing things, but the fact that they had both seen the same thing and same person still scares me just a little bit. Anong masasabi nyo? Meron ba kayong eerie encounters during school activities na ganun?
Well, ako, our kwento na, well, ASHS to, so medyo, bilang nag-iisang nakatapak sa campus, kwento natin siya. So, ayun, so,
Eman,
kasi,
masyadong umaatake.
Masakit na.
sorry na
Isang
guys.
nakatapak sa SHS campus.
Nako,
Medyo masakit sa senior.
so hindi makatapak din kayo dyan. So, ayun, so, siya, parang, kasi meron dong field, as in malaking field siya, as in soccer field. Then, like, sa dulong part, meron dong napakalaking mango tree. As in, like, sobrang laki niyang mango tree, as in like matagal na yata siya nakatanim dun. And then like, kasi tuwing fair, like yung mga core ng fair, like pwede mag-overnight dun sa school. So, syempre, nagkakayayaan minsan, mag ganon-ganon. And then like, wala namang ganap, pero basta yun, spooky lang niya. Pero kasi may story dun na parang may mga nagaganap dong, alam mo yun, may nakapapakita, meron daw mag-yosi dun minsan na hindi mo sure kung, kung tao ba talaga siya or I don't know, supernatural things. So, ayun lang.
So, pagdating natin sa ASHS, hanapin natin yung mga
Tama
nag-yosing ghosts.
Dun tayo para,
Actually,
picture.
Actually, I heard those stories.
Hmm.
Yung merong daw, like, smoke. Like, I don't know, kung may, like, puno, something, like, may puno daw. And, I don't know, like, parang it's a story na alam halos lahat ng mga tapak sa campus.
Minsan, totoong tao siya, minsan hindi rin. So,
Totoong
natin
tao.
sure.
Di mo sure. Okay.
Ayun. Kayo guys, meron pa ba kayo experience? Ano pa?
Wala masyado
okay.
Pero ito, for the next entry naman. Back in 2007, an uncle of mine opened a website that lets you chat in chat rooms, similar to Omegle. He stumbled upon an account named The Answer. My uncle thought the user was a basketball fan because Allen Iverson's alias is The Answer, so he proceeded to chat with him. My uncle asked the user why his username was The Answer, which they then replied, Ask me anything that you'd normally think I would not know the answer to. My uncle first asked basic questions about himself, like his name, old school, and other questions he thought would be general knowledge for his friends. After, the user guessed all of them correctly, with only the name being spelled wrong. My uncle had a feeling that he was talking to a friend of his. My uncle asked if they know one of his friends. They then answered, I know you have a friend named Anna. Pero fake name lang to ah. When my uncle saw this reply, he assumed the user was indeed that friend. There's this very pretty girl in school, my uncle said. Without letting him finish the statement, the user replied, are you talking about this person? And then, sinend niya yung person na pinag-uusapan nung uncle niya. After this question, few more questions were asked, including those that he was sure Anna would have no clue on how to answer. A notable suspicious statement from the user was, you have a messy room. My uncle let this statement slide because maybe they were just randomly guessing. Who doesn't have a room? Who doesn't have a messy room anyway? Hours have passed. My uncle started to bid goodbye, but he couldn't leave without asking one final question. How did you know all of these facts about me? My uncle asked. The user replied with a very vague, Emily. Just Emily. My uncle asked, who's Emily? She's my friend. The answer typed. My uncle proceeded to ask a rather final bang question. Where is Emily? He typed. He received a spine-chilling reply from the user. She's standing right beside you.
Wait lang!
Oh my gosh.
Mali ito, mali.
Obviously, that was the end of their conversation. My uncle quickly said goodbye and turned the laptop off. The next day, and the laptop never turned on again. This story has been engraved at the back of my head, making me cautious of the people I encounter online. Who knows, maybe the answer is still lurking online, waiting for their next victim to terrorize.
Oh my God!
Ang scary nito in a way na
Yeah, kasama
scary for your
mo.
life talaga.
So true!
Oh my God.
Like, kayo ba? Nag-online chat rooms na rin ba kayo? Like, strangers, kunyari, amigo, ganun.
Umigal fun.
Well, yes, pero walang gantong ka. Oh my God,
Yes,
sobrang
yeah,
ano naman
pero
nito. Oh my
Walang
God.
horror story, scary story na ganito.
Kaya nga,
Oh my
dapat
God.
sa umigal magpa-flirt, not scare each other.
Bakit ganyan?
Oh my God!
Flirt na!
Oh my God, guys! Makinig kayo sa parents nyo. Do not talk to strangers. Stranger
Tama.
danger.
Tama.
True.
Unless gusto niyo mapatulad ng Emily, may pa-Emily pa.
Naku po.
And,
Nakatayo daw sa
Stranger
tabi nyo,
danger.
guys.
Baka mamaya ma-encounter nyo dun si Emily. So, wag na. Wag na, guys.
Yun nga lang.
True. Stay safe.
Oh.
Lalo na nasa bahay lang tayo.
Yes, true that like almost everything is done online na. So, guys, keep safe.
Our next story naman is a very, hindi naman siya, totoo. Pero sometimes nightmares can be as terrifying as real life, diba? So, it reads, I rarely get nightmares, but when I do, it would always have the same antagonist. I believe it was back in the first quarter when I had my first nightmare. Similar to every other haunted movie, mine started on a gloomy night in a private subdivision. I was walking alone on the side of a wide street with plots of land around me and no signs of life. The night was dark and the air was chilly. I seemed to have just come off of work, or maybe more appropriately, school. There was this unsettling feeling that someone was following me, so I tried to walk home as fast and calm as I could. When experience kayo na parang kung madilim yung hallway, tapos tatakbo sa kwarto niyo, may feeling niyo may something, pero there's
Yeah,
no.
gano'n.
Yeah.
Minsan kakanta ka na lang,
Oh,
gano'n. Parang,
like-
hi.
Like kapag galing ka sa kitchen sa baba, tapos you have to turn on the lights
Yeah,
kasi ikaw
the
lang
lights.
yung mag-isa. Tapos pagka-close ng ilaw, then mag-run ka kaagad ng
Hindi may
pinaka-
pa-countdown
Walang
pa bago mo
tingin-tingin sa
isara,
likod.
gano'n.
yeah, tas takbo na pagka sarado. Nakakatakot nga yung kitchen namin dito eh. Dahil when you're washing, let's say you're washing dishes lang sa gabi, the window is in front, di ba? Pero like the window is like medyo dark. You know, kayo din ata, di ba usually sa kitchen yung window nasa harap ng sink. So when you're washing dishes at night, parang nakakatakot kasi baka mamaya may magpakita sa window.
May nakaganon sa'yo. Oh my God.
Huwag mo gawin, Eman!
Oh my God.
Pero Eman, nakakatakot yung background mo.
Nako, ako ganyan. Mali.
Tapos kami yung sorry.
May naglalaro na dyan mamaya.
Naglalaro na siya sa background ng Jack and Pajama. So, after a while of walking, I finally arrived at my secluded home. My parents' cars weren't parked outside of our home, but there was an unfamiliar car parked there. And the lights inside the house were open. Fear flooded in my body, but I didn't want to cause any unnecessary commotion. Smooth. So I tried to stay as calm as I could. I slowly walked up to the door, went in the house, and called for my parents, but to no avail. No one responded. Inside the house was so bright. All the lights were open. At that point, my mind just went blank. I walked across the room and then stopped by the stairs and looked up. I proceeded to pass by it and go to the dining area. Suddenly, as I was walking, a man behind me swung an axe. I was able to dodge it, but I fell to the ground. I caught a glimpse of his appearance. The man was a bit taller than me. His shirt was red and dirty, and his hair was a mess. But his eyes, I could never forget, were burning with anger. Alawat pada! Jokes. He swung an axe towards me again, and I managed to miss his attempts. His eyes were so concentrated and angry, so he tried and tried to swing the axe towards me. And for some reason, my reflexes did a magnificent job. Ala, Hansoy sa my name.
Congrats sa
Congrats.
Buti na lang.
I finally managed to regain my balance. I managed to push him, and I stood up and ran towards the door. I left the house and sprinted as fast as I could. I ran so far in the dark. I didn't care to look back. And I finally found a building with the lights. I entered the place and it looked like a clubhouse. I screamed for help, but no one responded. I decided to hide under one of the furniture in the place, hoping that he would not find me. Time passed and the night was long. It was quiet, but then after a while I heard footsteps. I didn't dare move, breathe, or make any kind of sound. But his eyes suddenly appeared out of nowhere, staring intensely at me. I immediately closed my eyes and prayed that my brother would leave me. Plot twist! Kapatid!
Plot twist!
Grabe yung mga sabi.
More on thriller to Parang nakabulan sila.
Kakapanood niya to ng horror movies.
Pero diba, nightmare siya. Ako hindi siya nagising.
Ang galing ng build-up niya to.
Oo, true.
Baka gusto mo naman i-publish yung story. Iba tong build-up na to.
So true.
Next Stephen King author na to si Sis.
Pwede nyo na i-upload sa archives of our own.
Opo,
Pero, yun, have you guys had any like really, really spooky dreams? Like, naalala niyo super intensely?
Siguro mostly, hulog lang. Tapos pagbagsak mo, nagigising ka bigla. Ganon.
OMG, akala ko ako lang yun. Yung parang, pag nasa tulog, like, yung isip mo or like yung napapanaginipan mo, parang kang malalaglag sa higaan. Tapos once na bumagsak ka na sa panaginip mo, magigising ka na nasa kama ka pa rin.
Yeah.
Alam niyo ba bakit daw ganon? Like,
nabasa ko.
Bakit daw?
Can you share guys? Kasi ako hindi ko alam.
Ako rin hindi ko rin alam. Ano yan?
Narinig ko lang but like sabi kasi nila, yung brain mo, hindi pa nila alam kung ano yung feeling ng mamatay or mahulog. Kaya ginigising ka. Kasi hindi mo pa alam yung feeling.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Pero sabi, daw yun, dinadala ka ng angel, pero nabitawan ka ng angel.
Ayun pala yun!
So, kukunin ka na pala. Oh my
We're
God.
not ready for heaven daw.
Kukunin ka na pala. Ilang beses na pala ako dapat kinuha.
Grabe
Di lang
naman
natuloy.
yun!
False
Grabe
alarm.
Natuloy.
medyo masama yung angel ko. Bakit niya ako nilaglag ng madaming times?
Hindi siya careful. Clumsy siya.
Clumsy yung angel ko. But anyways, guys, we are down to our last anonymous submission. So, here's the story. In my old school, the coordinator of activities and discipline office is located right beside a small hall. On special occasions, the hall is used for dance practices and small productions, but on a normal day, it is used as a tambayan of sorts, especially for students who arrive before 7 a.m. Wow, early bird. That day, I arrived early and I'm the first person in the small hall. I placed my bag on top of the small stage as I would any other day, and naturally glance at the window into the CAD's office, which is one of the same level as the stage. It was a strange feeling, knowing that I was the first one there, knowing that no one sleeps inside the school, seeing a foot caught just below the knee exactly in front of the window, as if it was placed on top of the small shelf, gave me goosebumps. It was bizarre enough feeling for me to run off to a place where I knew there would be people. Unfortunately, at that time, I didn't know that in a few hours, I'd find myself without someone important to me, that they'd be leaving the physical world because of a complication while that person's feet was being amputated. I do have to say that it was traumatic. But if I wouldn't be thinking with a straight mind, I could have warned someone. I could have said a proper goodbye. Medyo confused ako.
Medyo magulo siya. Pero parang siyang warning, no? Parang nagka-vision siya na, someone would
Feeling
happen.
ko na habang ina-amputate yung person na important sa kanya, nagka-complication, kaya na dead.
And then like the one na nakita niya dun sa CAD office was like a warning or like of some sort? Baka ganun ba?
Parang pakipapirify. Sana okay ka pa. Parang
for our next episode, pwede kang mag-special guest just to clarify your story. We need clarifications, Anon. But, yes. Thank you guys for joining us today. That concludes our SOAR Halloween special. But before we formally close our episode, we would go and jump into our shout out segment. So I'll go first. Shout out to all the anonymous person na nag-submit. Thank you for filling our SOAR episode today. And yes, shout out sa mga core members na wala ngayon. I hope your guys are okay. And especially kay EJ, congrats on your first dose of vaccine. Sana all! How about you, Eman? Sinong gusto mong i-shout out?
Shout out ko sino pa ba? Si Joaquin. Ba't wala si Joaquin dito pala? Shout out si Joaquin. And shout out sa Shooters and SKB. Hi, guys. Ayun, I'm here. Kayo, guys. Sino pa next? Ace. May shout out ka ba, Ace?
Shoutout na lang sa lahat ng Qs. Yay, yun na lang.
Yes, husay Qs. Tama.
Yun lang.
How about you, Jaja?
Shoutout to APCO and shoutout to my practical research group and my stat prob group. Yeah, kaya natin yan.
Tama.
Oh my God. Good luck sa inyong juniors who are taking practical research. It's quite challenging, but I know kaya nyo yan. Yes. Iana, any shout out? DJ Orange, go.
Shout out to Apcor. Halos every day na tayo nagkikita.
Hindi ba kayo sawa? Tarot.
Yes, always for the hard work. Yay!
And lastly, Aiden, please do your shout outs.
Shout out sa section ko, sa pamilya ko, sa mga kaibigan ko, at sa lahat ng mga manonood ng Seniors on Air Radio. Kuya Will, artista na ako. Nasa TV na, nasa radyo pa.
Tama!
Tama ka dyan.
Thank you. I thank you everyone for watching today's episode, and that's all. We will vibe with you again soon. Bye!
Bye!
Bye-bye!
Are you feeling sore? We can make that better. Tune in to the Ateneo Senior High School's first radio program, SOAR, Seniors on Air Radio. Don't change that channel yet, because SOAR is ready to put the you in youth. SOAR, Seniors on Air, here on radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM.
Radyo